Hello everyone and welcome to today's online class for class 11. Now we are going to study the structure formation of PCl5 molecule. Phosphorus in its valence shell possesses 5 electrons. Phosphorus possesses 5 electrons in its valence shell. 5 chlorine atoms, each possessing 7 electrons, provide 1 electron to pair with one of the 5 electrons of phosphorus, and thus completes its octave. This is how the phosphorus chloride PCl5 molecule form the covalent bond with 5 chlorine atoms. In this structure, each chlorine possesses 8 electrons, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 electrons, the octet is fulfilled for all the 5 chlorine in this specific structure. But the phosphorus, the central atom possesses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 electron in its valence shell after the formation of this PCl5 compound. So, an expansion in the octet for the central atom can be observed in PCl5 molecule, which violate the octet rule. Sulfur contains 6 electrons in its valence shell. So, when sulfur forms SF6 molecule, each 6 molecules with 1 electron coming from 6 fluoride atom, thus form the covalent bond with 6 chlorine atom. In this SF6 molecule, each fluorine atom possesses 8 electrons in the valence shell, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This fluorine atom have 8 electron in the valence shell after the formation of this SF6 molecule. So all the fluorines have their octet filled. But the central atom sulfur have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 numbers of electron in the valence shell after the formation of this SF6 molecule. So expansion of octet for the central atom sulfur can also be observed for this SF6 molecule. Iodine have 7 electrons in its valence shells. Therefore, in IF5 molecule, iodine share 5 electrons with 5 electrons coming from 5 fluorine atom. In the IF5, this molecule, each fluorine have 8 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So octet is filled for the fluorine, but the central atom iodine have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expansion of the octet for the central atom iodine is also observed in this case also. When a bond is formed by sharing 3 electrons instead of 2 electrons, in that case that kind of bond is known as odd number bond, odd electron bond, and the compound forming this kind of bond is known as odd electron bond compound, like in this case NO, NO2, O2. This kind of the structure they form, usually they are of the odd number electron bond they possess. Now the formation of this kind of odd electron bond violates octet rule, and why still they do form in the nature, it is octet rule cannot explain it. In similar way, the basis of octet rule was that noble gas have the most stable electronic configuration as they possess 8 electrons in the valence shell. But we now know that noble gases do form, some of the noble gas do form compound like XCF2, XCOF2, XCOF4, XCF6, KrF2, etc. Now, if octet rule is the most stable electronic configuration, and that's why most of the bond is formed, then why these noble gases form this kind of compounds? Octet rule could not explain this kind of compound formation by noble gases. Not only that, the previous examples that we had done in which expansion of octet was observed or incomplete octet was observed in a compound, the central atom of a compound that we had just studied, the explanation for the formation of this kind of stable compound was not explained, could not be explained on the basis of octet rule. The violation of octet rule that was observed in the expansion of expansion of octet of the central atom in the molecule like PCl5, SF6, this kind of molecule, scientists try to explain it by the theory, by this concept that is known as Sedgwick's concept of maximum covalency. He postulated that the maximum covalency of an element depends on its position in the periodic table. Like SF6, the central atom have an expansion of octet. It share all 6 electron. It's all 6 electron. Now, in periodic table, sulfur belongs to period number 3rd and group number 16. As it belongs to period number 3rd and group number 16, that's why it possesses 6 electron in its valence shell. And it is said that, according to Sidgwick, that as it is belong to the 3rd period, or depending on the situation, sulfur can actually share all its 6 electrons. Thus, can actually possess, can form bonds with 6 different, using 6 valence electron, and can have an expanded octave. That he suggested that having 8 electron is not the basis of bond formation anymore. Most of the electron try to get 8 electron, but depending on the position of those elements in the periodic table, some of if demand is needed, then those elements can actually possess more than 8 electron in their valence shell after the bond formation also, like in the case for SF6. Similarly, for PCl5 molecule, phosphorus is in periodic table is situated at period number 3 and group number 15. As it is situated at group 15, that's why the valence shell, in the valence shell, phosphorus has 5 electron, and as it is belong to 3rd period, if needed, phosphorus can share all the 5 electrons, like in the case for this one, and can actually have a expanded octave, which actually not included in the octet rule. That was the postulation that was given by Sidgwick in the form of a concept. Modern theory of chemical bond formation actually accept this concept of Sidgwick and coincide with this postulate also. Another approach known as Sargent's concept was given to describe the formation of PCl5 and SF6 molecules. He suggested that the central atom of SF6 or PCl5 molecules attain octet by forming one or more than one electron bond. Let's try to construct the bond and see what was the main concept. Now, in PCl5, according to Sargent, phosphorus was forming a bond with chlorine, 3 chlorine molecule, by sharing one of its electron with one of its chlorine molecule. Like in these 3 electron share, 1 electron was shared by chlorine, 1 electron was shared by phosphorus. In this one also, 1 electron is shared by chlorine, 1 electron is shared by phosphorus. Is this one also, 1 electron is shared by chlorine and another one is shared by phosphorus. But the remaining 2 electron, fluorine is not going to share any of its electron. Only phosphorus will share 1 electron, and that 1 electron will be shared by both fluorine and chlorine. This is the 1 electron concept. According to Sargent, and thus the phosphorus is forming this bond, where phosphorus and chlorine, phosphorus and 3 chlorine is having a shared bond which contain 2 electrons and two shared bond that has been formed by the sharing of only 1 electron. So out of the 5 bond formed between chlorine and phosphorus, 3 bond has been formed by sharing 2 electrons and 2 bond is formed by sharing 1 electron solely from phosphorus. This was the Sargent's concept of singlet linkage rule, and thus you can see that all the atoms in this compound has an octet, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the chlorine has filled octet. In the singlet linkage also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octet is filled, and for the phosphorus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electron is filled also. So according to this rule of Sargent's, octet can be filled in the central atom. Let's see what happens for SF6. Out of the 6 fluorine, 2 fluorine, this one and this one will share 1 electron with the 1 electron coming from sulfur, and thus form a normal covalent sharing. Whereas the remaining 4 electrons, 4 fluorine will not share any electron, but sulfur will share 4 electron each to each fluorine atom, and thus form a single bond, singlet linkage. And thus form this compound in which each fluorine, where they have shared 2 electrons, the fluorine have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons, and the linkage, singlet linkage, the fluorine have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons, and sulfur in the central atom have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons also. Thus, out of the 6th bond, by forming 2 normal covalent bond and 4 singlet linkage bond, SF6 have formed according to Surkin's concept by forming 4 singlet linkage. In Surkin's concept, the singlet linkage was found to be much more weak compared to the normal doublet linkage covalent bond. In PCl5, out of the 5 bonds, 2 bonds were singlet linkage and the remaining 3 bonds were normal doublet linkage covalent bonds. Evidently, the 2 singlet linkage bond in the PCl5 is weaker compared to the doublet linkage normal covalent bond, and this was evidently found by this reaction in which PCl5, when was heated, it disintegrate or dissociate into PCl5 and Cl2 molecules. This reaction proves that 2 bonds out of the 5 phosphorus chlorine bonds are much more weaker, and that's why breaks easily to form this one molecule of chlorine, and the remaining molecules form the remaining portion forms the PCl3 molecules. If this thing is true, then the Sturgeon's rule is true, and if Sturgeon's rule is true, then in the case for SF6 molecules, where 4 bonds between S and sulfur and fluorine was singlet linkage, and the remaining 2 were normal doublet linkage. Out of those 6 bonds, 4 bonds should have been much more weaker compared to the normal remaining 2 doublet linkage covalent bond. Then, if SF6 molecules are heated, then SF2 and 2F2 should have been formed. But it is found that it is not the case. In fact, SF6, the 6 sulfur fluoride bond in SF6 molecules are equivalent in nature. That is, the strength of all the 6 bonds are equal, which violates the Sturgeon's concept. That is, 4 bonds in sulfur fluorine bonds are singlet linkage, and the remaining 2 are doublet linkage. Hence, 4 should have been more weaker compared to the remaining 2. But in the case of this one, we have found that all the SF6 sulfur fluorine bonds are equally strong, which directly invalidates the Sturgeon's rule. Therefore, this concept later on was not taken into consideration anymore.